Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the Celtic Forever podcast. We've got John here to go over everything news, rumours, and gossip as usual. But we're also going to do a special today with the Celtic double champions. So we're going to do a wee special on that, touch on the team that won the double. So we've got a lot to get through today. So we'll say hello to John first of all. How are you, John? I've not heard from you for about a week.
Aye, it's all good, Xander. Nothing much happening. Just watched the Scotland game, that's about it. It's the only exciting thing that's happened, if you want to call that excitement. But, how are you?
Yeah, Scotland game, we'll touch on that. But the Euros also, they start this week, didn't they? Friday, I think that starts. So that'll give us all something to watch. We'll all be doing the usual, hoping England don't get far in the competition and getting worried once they get to the semi-final. No offence to anybody that's English that's listening, by the way. But yeah, John, we've got the Euros to tide us over these friendlies kick off at me. So I think you'll be watching the Euros.
Definitely, aye. And I've nothing against anybody English, by the way. None of us have. I was just saying, if you're a Scottish person, you don't want England to do well for the simple fact that it's get rubbed in your face for the next 30 years if they if they did win it.
Yeah, that's it. No, it's let them do well, get to the semi and that, but as long as they don't win it, that's all we're looking for. As you said, John, no offence to anybody that's English, it's just a Scotland-England thing, isn't it? All right, let's touch on this competition this week, John. The Mystery Voice went to the Mystery Voice. 74 entries into the competition this week, John. So a wee bit less than normal because the football stopped, but 74 entries is still quite good. And nobody got it right, John, right? So nobody got the Mystery Voice right. Not one person out of the 74 entries. So we're going to continue at the same voice, John. This week we're going to continue, right? So have a wee listen. Hello again, Facebook and YouTube followers of the Celtic Forever podcast. We're doing a competition this week and it's very simple. Competition to win two prizes, the Celtic Forever Solid Steel Zippo lighter and the Celtic Forever Solid Steel monogrammed ballpoint pen in the box set there. So that's your two prizes, and the competition itself is very simple. All you have to do is guess the mystery voice of the former Celtic player. Have a wee listen to this.
No, they can expect to see a player who enjoys football, who's not afraid to show his quality.
So the mystery voice, I just to interrupt. I know I did the mystery voice in last week's podcast, and I forgot to add the voice at the end of the podcast. So apologies for that. So this week, John, I'm going to give a wee clue, right? A wee clue. This mystery player signed for Celtic from the English Premier League, John. So there's a wee clue for everybody. One guess each again, everybody, into the comment section. And if there's a winner, we will announce it on the next podcast. If there's more than one correct entry, it will go to a draw.
I have not got a clue who it is. I listened a couple of times. I've got no idea. It could be anybody. But I don't know. Aye, I suppose a wee clue like where he came for the English Premiership. That's all the Celtic fans that listen to this will be on their phones checking it, see what Celtic players came for the English Premiership.
Yeah.
But me personally, I've not got a clue who it is.
Yeah, it's a good clue because we've not signed many players for the English Premier League, John. So that is a good clue. So have a wee think, look at the strip, listen to the voice, and then bear in mind it came from the English Premier League. So that's this week's competition. We'll continue it for another week. So it must have been quite difficult, John. Anyway, we'll move on. Let's get into the housekeeping. Join us over on Xander John Facebook page for extra content, extra videos. You'll get us over there. If you can hit like, share and subscribe as well, just to help the YouTube channel out. All right, John, let's get into the rumours and the news, rumours, gossip, whatever you want to say. I'm going to throw some names at you, right? And you just tell me what you think, right? Edward.
What do I think him? I don't want him back at Celtic. I've stated that umpteen times on here.
Right, okay. I'll say what I think once you've said your piece, John. Kieran Tierney.
Don't want him back at Celtic either.
Right, even if they improve the team dramatically?
I don't know. I just remember when Kieran Tierney left, it was a case of I've never seen anything like this in my life and all that bumming up Arsenal something stupid. It was just in the door for 2 seconds. Didn't even play the game or anything.
Right.
And this is a guy that's supposed to be a Celtic fan, Celtic mad and all that. It's like, you can down to England to play in the Premier League. It's a different level, a different thing altogether. The wages and all that stuff. And I can't blame players for going away and wanting to, earn a lot more money, of course. But me being a Celtic fan, if it was me, I wouldn't have been doing there shouting about I've never seen anything like this. I'd be saying, like, Celtic's my number one team. They always will be. And there's nothing quite like playing for Celtic, which there wouldn't be if I was a Celtic player, Xander. I'm being honest. If I played for Celtic, there wouldn't be any other club I wanted to play for. It's as simple as that. Edward, on the other hand, will never forget the picture when he signed for Crystal Palace. You never seen him even smiling at Celtic, but then it showed you his signing on picture. Have you seen a bigger smile than that in your life?
No, I know what you're saying. No. Okay, John, we'll move on because we've got a lot to get through here today, John. So I know for Edward, I know for Tierney so far. Fraser Foster, John. I know we spoke about this, but just a wee quick touch back on it.
Too old, Xander. Too old. But good experience, good Premiership experience, and that's maybe a yes for me for
Right.
Big Fraser Foster.
Fair dues, John. Moving on, Jota.
Again, that's a tough one, isn't it? Jota, great player. Flopped everywhere else he's been, of course. But I think, like I said before, I think Jota was made for Celtic, so I would welcome Jota back. Even though he left for money yet again, he still got a big love for Celtic. I think I would say aye for Jota and Tierney, probably have Tierney back as well.
McTominay, Scott McTominay.
Decent player. He never played the other night. Of course, he was kept for the Euros on Friday. Never played the game against Finland. I would say aye, Scott McTominay. I've always liked him.
Right, fair dues, John. And last of all, these are all strong rumours, John. These are not just the run-of-the-mill rumours. These are all strong links. And I think I spoke to you about this 6 days ago, John, and it's all over the place this weekend. So we obviously knew about this about a week ago. David De Gea, the former Manchester United goalkeeper, 33-year-old, strongly linked to Celtic, John.
Don't know the guys, Xander, so I can't say. There's another one Celtic were linked for the day. I can't mind his name now. But again, I think, how old was Guinea?
De Gea's 33, John.
Good reputation, played for big clubs and all that. So I'd say I can't remember the guy, to be honest with you, so I can't say aye or no. Xander, have any comments? Sorry.
They bought it, right? I'll quickly run through them too. I think, right, John. Edward is no for me, to be perfectly honest with you. I'd rather see Big Ida sign on a permanent contract. So no for Edward. Kieran Tierney, take him back, get him back into that left back position. You've got Greg Taylor as well. So it'd be two decent left backs. So I'm agreeing with you so far, John. Fraser Foster, take him back. Jota, take him back. The heartbeat. McTominay, yes, for me as well. And David De Gea, I take him all day long, John. So more or less agreeing with what you're saying, John. So let's touch on the outs, the potential outs at Celtic. Celtic are looking for 25 million for Kyogo if he was to leave, John. But I think the player wants to stay.
Sorry, you broke up there, Xander. You probably didn't know on the podcast, but how much for Kyogo?
25 million.
He's not worth 25 million. Simple as that for me. He's not worth 25 million, wee Kyogo. I would love him to stay, though, to be honest with you. I'm one of these guys, keep our best players. I would love him to stay. So if Kyogo's wanting to stay at Celtic, I'd welcome that.
Yeah, I'd welcome it as well, John. 25 million. I think Celtic put that price tag there to just defend people away, isn't it? So clubs away. Matt O'Reilly, that's not going away, is it? Looks as though he could be on his way. But Matt O'Reilly, John, for some strange reason, we're only talking about similar price for Kyogo for him, 25 million. But if Kyogo's worth 25 million, Matt O'Reilly must be worth double that. He's half the age, isn't he? I know half the age, but you know what I mean.
Aye. I think Kyogo. I want Kyogo and Matt O'Reilly to stay. Of course, I think they're two great players. I think they're two good fits for Celtic. To be honest with you, Matt O'Reilly, I agree with you. I think he's off. I think he'll be away to pastors new. And if he is going to pastors new, I think, like you're saying, if Kyogo's worth 25 million, Mattarelli's worth 50 million, double the price, I would say so. But realistically, Mattarelli, I think Kyogo's probably worth about, I don't know, between 8 to 10 million because of his age. Mattarelli, 25, 30 million, realistically.
Yeah, fair dues, John. Okay, moving on. Mikey Johnston, looks as though West Brom want him on a permanent, John. So looks as though we could be losing Mikey. So, what's your thoughts on Mikey? I know you've said in the past you want him to stay, but bearing in mind that West Brom now want to sign him on a permanent, John, he's not really going to be missed, is he? Because he never really played too much game time, did he?
No, but do you know what I keep thinking when I think of that? If Mikey Johnson stays with them, it's going to be the player that got away. I've just got that feeling because he's been a revelation down there.
Yeah.
I watched his compilation of goals. I think he scored 7 goals for them in his loan spell, quite a few assists and all that. The fans love him down there. And I think if Celtic let him go, it's going to be the one that got away because I think there is potential in wee Mikey Johnson. He just tries to do too much and his final ball was quite poor. But he seemed to be coming on it again. Didn't he? Before he went to West Brom, he was scoring goals, he was banging in the goals, he looked like a player. And he seems to have went down to there and continued that form.
Yeah, that's it, John. He scored a couple of goals before he went on loan, actually, you're right. I think it was against Dundee. Came on, changed the game at Celtic Park. We're going to get into the games through the season very shortly, John. We're going to do that special for the double winners shortly. But if he's gone, he's gone. That's the way I look at it, John. There's not much we can do about it. But I'd like to see him stay as well. And another winger, decent winger to bring on as a substitute or whatever. But if West Brom sign him, we'll be looking for decent money, I would say, John. What are you thinking money-wise for Mikey Johnston?
Well, they're a championship team, aren't they? But they're still on healthy wages and they've got a good budget down there in the championship. Better than we get up here. Mikey Johnson, I think a championship team would be looking to spend between 6 and 8 million on him, Xander.
Okay. All right, John. I've not got a clue what the boy's worth, but by all accounts, he's flying in there, isn't he? So, and they obviously want to sign him for a reason. He's a decent player, so yeah, the more the merrier. That's the way I look at it. If Mikey wants to go and he doesn't want to come back to Celtic and West Brom's a better option for him, then yeah, between 5 and 10 million. Yeah, I agree with that, John. Laga Bielke, Lecce is interested in him again, John. So they came in from in January. We said no, but they're back in this summer, John. So it looks as though Laga Bielke is finally going to be on his way out.
Good luck to the big guy. My memories of Laga Bielke was just the game at Ibrox, the first derby game of the season where we won 1-0 at Ibrox with no fans. Something that Sevco can't do. Went there with a depleted team. Of course, our main players were out. I thought Laga Bielke at that time was outstanding that day. But ever since that, he's just looked like a drunk giraffe. I always use that expression for players that look gangly, if you know what I mean. They don't look steady on their feet, kind of thing. A bit gangly looking, but nah. Good luck to the boy if he leaves. Just Celtic is just not meant for Celtic, I don't think.
Yeah, that's right, John. Good luck to him, as you say. He also scored the winning goal in the Champions League game, and sort of meaningless game, didn't he? He scored the winning goal at Celtic Park against, I can't even remember who it was, to be perfectly honest with you, but we won the game 1-0 anyway. He scored in the last minute, I think 2-1 was it? I can't remember. But he scored that.
Team,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, Feyenoord was it?
Aye.
Yeah, he scored the winning goal, and it was a brilliant night that went to beat them and finish the group with 4 points. You're right, John. Feyenoord. So yeah, because you got sent off in the first game against Feyenoord, did you know? And they were waving them off the park, etc. Remember that?
Oh, I remember it well. Aye, they were all waving at him. There's 2 players get sent. Who was the other one that got sent off? Maeda, wasn't it? Was it Dyson that got sent off?
Yeah.
Was that in Feyenoord? Was that no against Atletico Madrid?
That was Feyenoord, John. It was the Feyenoord fans that were waving at the the Celtic boys when they were walking off. I remember it now, and Lagerbielke scored the winner at Celtic Park. It's just a wee bit of revenge, wasn't it? So that was the two things he did do, John. He did have a blinder at Ibrox, and he did score that winning goal in the Champions League, the big man. So yeah, good luck to the boy if he indeed does leave Celtic in the summer. Right, John, Ralston played for Scotland the other night, played a blinder by all accounts. I didn't watch the game. I watched about half an hour, right, John? I think you watched the whole game. How did he play?
I thought Big Ralston was good, by the way. I don't think he was maybe possibly the best Scotland player on the park, but he was right up there with the better performers. Probably Tierney and Robertson had good games. And I thought big Anthony Ralston was up there with him. I thought he played a blinders and he was playing out in the right, hugging that touchline, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he played really well. Anthony Ralston put in some decent crosses and all that. Usual for Anthony, taking the nonsense off opposition players. Solid player, good performance. I do like Anthony Ralston. Just a pity that for him that Alistair Johnston's at Celtic, innit?
Do you know that's true, is it, John? Because he is a decent right back, and I saw the crosses you were talking about. He put into the box, are brilliant, top quality crossing into the box. He's, as you say, he's a good solid defender. So we've got him on the books there, John. He signed a long-term contract, so he's good backup for Alistair, I suppose.
Definitely, aye. He's not got the pace that Alistair's got. He's not get the guile, and he's not get the, I don't know. He's missing a lot of things that Alistair Johnston does have. But Alistair Johnston, in my opinion, is a top right back. I think he's future 25, 30 million pound player as well, Xander.
Yeah, we're lucky to have Alistair Johnston at Celtic, John, in my opinion. We're going to go through the squad shortly. Just one wee bit of news, John. Louis McCarry, 75 the day, John, ex-Celtic manager, ex-Celtic player. Louis McCarry, 75. Never had the best time at Celtic as a manager, did he? But many happy returns to him anyway.
Aye, happy birthday, Lou. So I can say. I didn't have a good time at Celtic as manager. We all remember his time at Celtic. There's no fond memories there or anything, but aye, happy birthday, Louis McCarry.
Yeah, okay, well said, John. Yeah. All right, John, here we go. This is what we've been waiting for. We're going to go through the games, the players, the team. We're going to go through the season that was, if you like, the season that's just passed there, John. Outstanding season, wasn't it? And we'll start, right, John? We'll start this tribute to the champions. We'll start with the summer last year, a year ago, right? When we were bringing in the players, right, George? So we brought in Parma from Aris FC for 3.5 million. We brought in Lagerbielke for 3 million from Wolfsburg. We brought in Thiago Holm for 2.5 million. I didn't realise Thiago Holm cost 2.5 million, John, till I checked it. He came for Valerenga. Tilio from Melbourne for 2 million. Yang from Ganson for 2 million. Kwon from Busan Park for 1 million. Naroki from Legia Warsaw for 4.3 million. Iwata from Yokohama at an undisclosed fee. Nat Phillips from Liverpool on loan, and Bernardo also on loan from Benfica, John. So that was 10 in, right? 10 in. So what was your thoughts, John, on these new signings arriving at the club? What was your thoughts at that time, if you can remember back then?
Can't remember the Scotland game on Friday. I don't know. I was looking at them and thinking there's a lot of project type players here. Yet again, for Celtic,
Yeah.
and I still think that way. It was a lot of project players, and 80% it never worked out. Xander, some quite poor signings, I think.
It was, wasn't it, John? Let's quickly have a wee look through it then, right? Bernardo was a success. Phillips was a flop. Iwata was a success. Naroki was a flop. Kwon was a flop. Yang, 50-50. Tilio was a flop. Holm was a flop. And Lagerbielke was a flop. So you're bang on, John. About 80% of the signings were, a waste of money, if you want to be perfectly honest.
Aye, waste of money. I suppose that's the way you can look at it. It depends if we get the money back on these boys, of course. They might recoup that money. They might make a profit here and there if somebody's, they've played at a previous club, they might want them back again or whatever. But generally speaking, I can't see Celtic making any money or getting any of their money back in the players, and I think they're going to be quick sales.
Yeah.
£300 on nearest offer.
I think you're right, John. We're not going to get the money back. Lagerbielke, 3 million. We'll be lucky to get that back, won't we? Palmer, if he goes, that is because he's not linked or anything to leave. So 3.5 million for Palmer, that was a lot of money in Celtic terms, I suppose. Kwon, 1 million, down the drain. Tillio, 2 million, down the drain. Naroki, 4.3 million, a lot of money, but he's a decent big centre half. Iwata, brilliant player, undisclosed fee, but an outstanding player. Nat Phillips, he was only on loan anyway, he's gone. And Bernardo, John, I want to finish up with Bernardo. We didn't touch on this, but Celtic are in talks with Benfica just now, actually, to try and get him on a reduced fee.
Aye. Well, need to be a reduced fee. Touching back on all the other players that signed, they can all go, and good luck to them all in their futures. But Iwata, outstanding talent.
Mm-hmm.
That's I don't know why that boy doesn't get more starts than what he does. He's an outstanding talent. Iwata, I really rate him. Bernardo, I don't know what Celtic's plan is with him, how much they want to pay for him. Maybe what are Benfica rating him at?
It's between 6 and 7 million, John. That was the fee that was arranged before he went on loan to Celtic. So that was like a buy on fee, if you like, 6-7 million. I think Celtic are looking to get him for 3 or 4 maybe.
I says that to you already, Xander. I says to you way back then when I was watching him, I was saying to you, he's not done enough to prove that he's worth 6-7 million. I remember the podcast where we were talking about it, and I says to you, he's worth, to me, maximum 2.5-3 million, because I've not seen enough of him to prove to me that he's a £6-7 million player. Yeah. But that's still my take on it. He's still not done enough for me to prove, even though he scored a nice goal against Rangers and all that, and he won us the final really with that drive and run, didn't he? And that fingertip stinging shot that the keeper couldn't hold on to for Big Eda to put into the net. Oh, I'm never tired of saying that. That was a beautiful day. But no, to me, still, he's not done enough to prove that he's a £6-7 million player. But there is something about him I do like. So maybe Celtic might be looking at between 3 and 4 million under.
Yeah, I think so. We'll watch this space because the talks are ongoing as we speak, John. So that could be a deal that's over maybe our first signing in the summer, actually. Bernardo, if we get the deal over the line, fingers crossed, because I like him. I rate him. I think he's a brilliant player. All right, John, players out. Last summer, we lost Jota, obviously, to Al Hattihad, 25 million. Starfelt went to Celta Vigo, undisclosed fee. Aaron Moy retired. Adam Montgomery went to Fleetwood on loan. Barkas was released. Ayeti, we got 500,000 gingies. No, £500,000 for Ayeti, John. He was away. Sorrel, he was gone undisclosed as well. So he went to Israel, and Hatzkemanovic went to Stoke on loan. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players, John, left in the summer last year. So that left us with the team that started at the start of the season, John. So that was quite a lot of players that left there, John. Quite a lot of important players that left. Jota, Moy, Hatzkemanovic, Starfelt, John, all left the club.
I think Jota was probably. I wasn't a big fan of Starfelt, by the way, as you know. I say that to you umpteen times. I was glad to see the back of him. And I think phoning his wee girlfriend was quite sad, to be honest with you.
That was sorry, John. That was quite poor, actually. Let's touch on that. He left Celtic so he could be with his wee girlfriend, as you say. Okay, maybe the guy was in love. I don't know, but for me, for a professional football player to do that, John, is quite poor.
Aye, exactly. I mean, these boys are all millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
He could have jumped on a plane and seen her every day if he wanted.
That's right.
Well, not every day, but you know what I mean. But
yeah,
like, what's he going to do if she goes back to Celtic? I says that is he going to follow her back to Celtic again?
I just thought it was quite poor, to be honest with you. I'm glad you said that, John, because I mean, good luck to Big Starfield. We've done his a turn. We won a couple of league titles with Starfield there under Big Ange, but I just thought he could have stayed. But we want to watch because we're going to touch on when Big Scales come into the team in a wee minute, John. But Big Scales replaced him, and we never looked back, did we?
I don't think Starfelt's half the player skills as Xander. I know for some reason a lot of Celtic fans they get on Scales' back, and I just don't understand that at all. I just don't know why they're doing it. Because I watch him and I go, I can't believe he was on loan at Aberdeen. Well, we had Starfelt. Because I didn't rate Starfelt.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Liam Scales is a far better player. He's as brave as they come, puts his head in front of everything, flies into the tackles, makes good runs for midfield, makes great passes, yet he gets a hard time for a lot of Celtic fans. And I just don't get that because I think he's a big, big upgrade on Starfelt. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, John. Yeah, he is an upgrade in Starfelt. Starfelt lost the ball a lot. Scales never loses the ball. You know, he's maybe once or twice in the 30 games that he played in the season there, John. But moving on, Moy, John, he was a miss as well. I thought I liked Aaron Moy. He was a good, solid midfielder. Got a lot of talent, a lot of ability. Another player that got maybe a hard time off some of the Celtic supporters.
Aye, he did. He did get a hard time, but he did have a lot of bad games as well, though. But there was a spell in Celtic where he started. We couldn't imagine playing without him.
Yeah.
He just came right onto his game. He was skillful. He didn't have a lot of pace, but what he did have, he used it well. He never missed a pass. Great passer of the ball, great vision. Aye, it was it's quite sad to see him go, actually, Moy, at the end of the day, because he finished his career as a Celtic player on a high, I think.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and good luck to Aaron, whatever he's doing now. So, all right, John, the season starts. First game, 5th of August. 5th of August, John, nearly a year ago, eh? First game, Ross County, Celtic Park, 4-2. I think Ross County played well that game, if I remember right, John, but we were just too strong for them. Ross County really came at us that day. We finished 4-2. So, a good start. The campaign there, good start to the campaign, John. 4-2 win for Celtic. Our next game, because I don't want to spend too much time on these games. I've got a few here that we maybe want to have a wee chat about, John, right? Vital games. But the next game was a vital one, John. It was away to Aberdeen, Pittodrie, 13th of August. And it was a comfortable win, John, in the end. It was a bad at Kyogo and Matt O'Reilly with the goals. 3-1 win for Celtic at Pittodrie, John, early on in the season.
Going away up to Aberdeen and getting any kind of win is always good, Xander.
Yeah.
So we're always watching Celtic's away form in the league. Good away form helps you to win leagues, but I think Celtic's away form was better than their home form, really.
Yeah. Okay, John, right, we'll leave it there. It was a good result, but it was a while ago. It's hard to remember these, John. It's no easy. The next game, John, it was actually nothing each draw. It's the first 2 points dropped in the season, 26th of August, nothing each against St Johnstone, so we weren't happy there. And then the big one that you will remember, John, Sunday the 3rd of September, Rangers 0, Celtic 1, John. It's Kyogo in the 45th minute, right before half time, if you remember. Let's run through the team. Remember you were saying the team was depleted? Right, we were there with a depleted team. This was the team, John, right? This was when Scales first came into the team, John, and he never looked back. So it was Taylor, Johnston, Scales, Lager, Bielke. So the two centre halves were makeshift, weren't they? McGregor in this holding role, David Turnbull, if you remember him, Matthew Riley, Diza Mida, Liel Abada, and Kyogo up top there, John. So going to Ibrox, John, no Celtic fans. It was a sunny day, if I remember right. It was just a great win, wasn't it?
Well, the previous game wasn't great, the 0-0 against St Johnstone. I remember that. I always remember the bad results for some reason. They stick in your mind, didn't they? But
yeah, they do. Yeah.
The game at Ibrox, wonderful. They all went in there thinking, well, most days did anyway. If realistically, you're thinking Rangers have got a strong team. We've got a depleted team. There's no fans. We kind of expected the worst a wee bit. Kind of maybe feared a wee defeat there. Maybe even a draw at best for Celtic. You were thinking with the depleted team and no fans.
Yeah.
But we were on cloud nine that day, weren't we? What a goal for Kyogo as well. Aye, brilliant. That was when I seen that, I'm thinking, I just hope this is a sign of things to come this season. That this is going to kickstart our season. This result, what a result it was! What a result, considering the circumstances.
It was, John. The whole centre defence was out, injured. We had Hatate out injured as well. Aye. So anyway, so it was a brilliant run, brilliant one. I'll never forget it. It was brilliant going to Ibrox. But we wrote off early, John. We were wrote off early before that game kicked off. But we shut up the doubters yet again, John.
Aye, that's the Brendan Rodgers effect, isn't it? They just can't buy a win with Brendan at Celtic, can they? That's the thing. Brendan's he knows how to beat them, Xander.
Yeah, he does. Yep, he does, John. Let's move on. Let's move on then. Couple of great games, just a quick mention of it. Next game was a home game, 16th of September against Dundee. That was a 3-0 win. Then we were away to Livingston on the 23rd of September. That was also a 3-0 win for Celtic over at the Tony Macaroni Stadium, John. And then the next one I want to touch on, a wee quick chat about it, was that this was vital in the league title, John. It was away to Motherwell, if you remember, 30th of September. It was Celtic were 1-0 up with Parma on the 77th minute. Then Spittle equalised, John, in the 90th minute. I don't know if you remember this because it was also a while ago. But I'll never forget it, John. It was just brilliant because big Matt O'Reilly steps up in the 94th minute with the winner, John. We're in cloud nine to get the 3 points at that time. 2-1 to Celtic, 94th minute winner, John.
I remember that one. I remember that one well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember the Motherwell fans not all run on the park at the side of the park with their players and all that, like they just won the World Cup. And then Celtic scored in the 94th or 95th minute, whatever it was, and the Celtic fans done the same. Oh, what a game that was! Aye, fantastic, belter a result.
Yeah, it was brilliant, wasn't it? It was another great day as well. And as you say, the Celtic fans run out of the park at the end, mimicking the Motherwell fans. It was quite funny. But to get the 3 points, John, vital in the title race. So let's move on. 7th of October, 3-1 win against Kilmarnock at home. Moving on, 22nd of October, 4-1 win away to Hearts. John, it's always good to go to Tynecastle and get a convincing win.
Aye. Hearts were a thorn on our side this season, weren't they? But aye, 4-1 at Tynecastle. Great result. Always good. That ground and Easter Road, Pittodrie, Kilmarnock. That's all the potential banana skins, isn't it? And always getting a result with Tynecastle is always great. Always love that.
Yeah, that brings us on nicely to our next game, John. Easter Road, nothing each draw. 28th of October, nothing each draw against Hibs. That was another vital 2 points dropped there, John, at Easter Road. So you're right. These are the potential banana skins, as you say. The next game, John, was the 1st of November, 2-1 win at home against St Mirren. That was a game David Turnbull, John, bagged a double. He came on and changed the game. I don't know if you will remember that. It wasn't a massive game, home game against St Mirren. But Turnbull bags a double, John, before he leaves in January.
Aye, I remember it, aye. But I've not got many great memories of David Turnbull, but I think that's probably the only one.
Yeah. Good luck to David Turnbull anyway, by the way, whatever he's doing now. Moving on, John, because we need to rattle through this. There's a lot to get through. 4th of November, 3-0 away win at Ross County, fair enough. Next game was the 12th of November, a 6-0 win against Aberdeen at Celtic Park. John, Turnbull scored again. Bagged a double against Aberdeen that game, John, and Kyogo and Yang was the other goal scorers. John bagged a double against Aberdeen. That wasn't too bad, but he never followed it up, did he?
Defenders must have been sleeping.
All right, mate. Let's move on, right? 25th of November, John, there was another 2 points dropped. 25th of November, 1 each draw at home against Motherwell. It was a Obika last minute, 92nd minute, John. I remember this one as well. Motherwell gave us a few tough games, didn't they? They really did in the season gone by there. But that was Obika equaliser at home, John, one each. It What was your thoughts at this point?
I remember that as well. I think you were going off your head with the fireworks getting set off. I think that's how I remember it.
Aye, that's right. The Rangers fans were beginning to dream at this point, weren't they? Because that was like 2 draws in 2 weeks or whatever, dropping points right, left, and centre at this point, weren't we? But yeah, the fireworks were going off, John. A Beaker equaliser, one each. It's no nice to drop points at home, is it?
No, it's never nice to drop points at any time, but especially at home, Celtic should be expecting to beat a team like Motherwell easily at home, even with a depleted team. The money that gets put into the Celtic team, they should be able to field a team worthy of beating Motherwell, but they didn't. But I remember the game, of course, and there's nothing worse than that, is there? That sinking feeling when a late equaliser goes in. It's just a horrible feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, John. It was just November, December's normally a tough time for Celtic, but it continued in the season there, John. So we'll move on. 6th of December. This was a comfortable win, John. It was a 4-1 home win against Hibs. So we'll move on. 10th of December, we lost, John. We lost, and it was to Kilmarnock, if you remember. Away to Kilmarnock on that plastic pitch. I think I was in hospital at that time. That's when you covered for me. But you watched the game, John. I didn't. Just give us a wee quick sum up of that one. That lost 2-1 against Kilmarnock.
That was the Matt Phillips game, wasn't it?
That's right.
Celtic must have created about 25 chances in the first half, missing sitter after sitter after sitter. It could have been anything Celtic wanted it to be in the first half. Played fantastic. Second half, they just gave up. Kilmarnock basically won the game and deserved to win in the second half. Kilmarnock were a far better team than Celtic in the second half. But just a horrible game to watch. Matt Phillips, it's just like going on about him. But did he get sent off that game? I can't remember if it was him that gets sent off. But somebody gets sent off anyway, I think. And Matt Phillips was brutal. He was kept passing the ball to their players, and they were constantly attacking and getting shots away because of Matt Phillips. So that was it. Matt Phillips, that's what I remember about it.
Yeah, I didn't see it, John, but I remember how I felt when I heard the result. The next game was the 16th of December. That was also a loss, John. So we're dropping points right, left, and centre at this stage in the season. It was a home loss to Hearts, if you remember. I think that was the wonder free kick, wasn't it? It was a good finish, to be fair to the boy. Who was it that scored? It was a Shankland, I can't remember. Anyway, 2-0 loss again, John, at home again. Another 3 points dropped at home. Hearts were a bit of a bogey team this year.
No, it wasn't Shankland that scored the free kick. It was, I can't remember his name. I spent too much time on it, but Shankland scored the winner at the back post, sure.
That's right, yeah. I can't remember who scored the free kick, but it was a good finish, to be fair to the boy, whoever it was. But that was two defeats in a row there, John.
Aye, that's when you started to feel the worst. Do you know what it started to feel like? The COVID season run about that time, didn't it?
Yeah, it was bad. It was hard to watch because that was a week before. It was a 1-each draw, as we says, and then 2 defeats in a row. That's where the Rangers fans started thinking they had a chance of winning the league.
Oh, aye, the treble was on. That's all we heard. Treble's on, treble's on, treble's on. It's happening. Like you says, the dare to believe, dare to dream, all that stuff. Fireworks going off left, right, and centre. It was like the 5th of November for about 3 months. But aye, Hearts were the bad bogey team that year. I still can't remember who scored the nice free kick for Hearts, but to me it started to have elements of the COVID season. But then I was being realistic and saying, well, hold on a minute. Most of your team is out injured. All our best players were out injured.
Yeah.
And I kept having that in the back of my mind. I've seen what this Celtic team are capable of, and all our best players are out injured. And we really need them back as soon as possible, because if we don't get them back, this league is away. That's what I was thinking at that time.
Yeah, that's right. I remember it, John. I remember it well, like it was yesterday. Moving on, 2 days before Christmas, 23rd of December, a comfortable one there against Livingston. 2-0 at home, John, against Livingston. That was fair enough. We move on. Boxing Day, another comfortable, John, another comfortable win away to Dundee. 3-0 at Dens Park, Boxing Day. So we're back on the winning trail, 2 wins in a row. there, John, and then we move on to the one we want to discuss. The 30th of December, the New Year fixture, Celtic against Rangers, Glasgow Derby. Celtic 2, Rangers 1. It was a goal from Bernardo. Nice strike for Bernardo, if you remember. It was a lovely wee goal. I think Balogun saw red in that game as well, if I remember right. And Kyogo also scored in the first half, John. So 2-0 up at half time. Again, it's happened a few times this season. 2-0 at half time. Rangers get one back. We're sort of hanging on near the end, but we hang on, John, to get the 2-1 win. And that's 3 wins in a row, and we're back on form.
Aye. Just all the derby games are all. You remember every one of them basically. You might forget some right now, but if somebody mentions it to you, it comes straight back to you again. So we never forget derby games. They're always they'll have long in the memory, and brilliant day again. They're always brilliant days. It's like I don't know what it's like. It's like winning a lottery, isn't it, when you beat them?
It's a good feeling. It's a great feeling, isn't it? I had a lot of good feelings during the season. But we're past the rough patch at this point, John. We're out the 2nd of January. A 3-0 away win against Mirren. Remember that one as well. Very comfortable, very confident Celtic team. And then there's an international break, John. We come back into the Scottish Cup, if you remember, 21st of January. A 5-0 win against Buckie Thistle.
I remember that as well. Aye, I remember that St Mirren game. That's the one you couldn't see the ball in it on the pitch.
That's right. Yeah, it all comes back to you when you go through it bit by bit, doesn't it, John? But that's right. It was a horrible day. That was hard to see the ball, as you say. But we got the win against Mirren. We got the win against Buckie Thistle into the next round. Then we've got a comfortable enough 1-0 win against Ross County at home, John. That's when we first saw Kuhn, the new signing in January. Kuhn came in. Turnbull left. Bernaby left. So that was your signings. Kuhn gets on the score sheet, John, and gets the winning goal against Ross County.
Aye. I can't really remember it, to be honest with you. Where was that? Celtic Park?
Celtic Park, John, yeah.
Aye, I can't remember that one. Sorry, Xander. Some games just slipped my mind, and that's one of them.
yeah, it's no one you want to try and remember, is it? But I just remember it for Kuhn bagging the winning goal, and a bit scrappy as well, scrappy goal. But it counts, and we've got the 3 points. So the winning machine rolls on at this point, John. We're into February now. Away to Aberdeen, a 1-1 draw. 1-1 draw against Aberdeen, John. The win machine was halted there, 1-1 at Pittodrie.
Right. Again, don't remember that one. One of the games. I probably did. If I watched it, it would come back to me. You know, I'm like that. I just don't store every game in my mind.
Yeah.
But I remember dropping points to Aberdeen this season. I do remember that, but I sadly don't remember the game.
Okay, well, dude, moving on, John. One we have a discuss because this was vital in the league title at this point because we just drawn with Aberdeen at Pittodrie, 7th of February. I remember the back-to-back away games, back-to-back. The next away one was against Hibs, if you remember. This was when we first saw Big Adam Ida in the team. Big Adam Ida comes on and scores a 94th minute winner against Hibs, John, at Easter Road. 3 points in the bag, John. Big Adam Ida, welcome to Celtic.
Aye. Do you know, I'm going back to Hibs games and I'm trying to remember that. I was trying to remember when was the last time we won at Easter Road, but that was it.
Yeah.
Aye, welcome to Celtic, Adam Ida. Do you know, say he scored against Aberdeen at Pittodrie the game before? I don't know. I can't remember it. But aye, it's always good to beat Hibs as well, and it's why the bogey grounds we always go to and seem to kind of struggle there at Easter Road.
Yeah.
I just, when I hear the fixtures coming up, Hibs away, Hearts away, probably Aberdeen away, Kilmarnock away. Here are the games I always kind of dread the games coming up, Xander.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just remember the feeling of getting that 95th minute winner against Hibs, John. I'll never forget it. Next game was the Scottish Cup. Okay, next round is the Scottish Cup. 2-0 away to St Mirren. Fair enough. We'll move on. 17th of February. There was another 2 points dropped, John. Kilmarnock again. at home at Celtic Park this time, John. 92nd minute equaliser from Watson for Kilmarnock. That sinking feeling yet again, John. We had it a few times during the season.
Aye, I remember the games all right. So I says I always remember the big, no big games like derby games and all that, but big results, important results, always last. And that was why the ones that last, that sinking feeling yet again, like we had against Motherwell. Do you know the? Aye, forget it. Move on. I remember.
Yeah, that's it, John. It was 2 points dropped. You know, yeah, as you say, let's move on. There's no point talking anymore about it. 25th of February, John, 3-1 win away to Motherwell, comfortable enough. Moving on, 28th of February, 3 days later, a 7-1 win against Dundee at home. Put them to bed very early in that game, very confident, relaxed performance by Celtic that day. So let's move into March, John. At this point, you know, Rangers are dropping points to Dundee and Ross County, etc. So we're slowly moving up the table. We're catching up with them, maybe going a point or two ahead of them. 3rd of March, 2-0 2-0 loss to Hearts, John. A 2-0 loss to Hearts. And this was the
shame game.
Yeah, that's the away game at Hearts with the VAR, the penalty, the red card, you remember? It was, we were all disgusted by it, if you remember. Hearts got the 3 points yet again. We were on a wee bit of momentum after beating Dundee 7-1, and then the decisions that day were just disgraceful.
The shame game, I call that.
Yeah.
Aye, and I did say I'll never forget that game, and I never have forgot it. It's just disgusting, absolutely disgusting. Celtic on the back of a 7-1 win, remember?
Yeah.
They were flying. Yang was flying. He was in some form, and he gets sent off for nothing. And obviously the penalty that should never have been a penalty in a million years. Guys, Iwata's got his back to the ball and it hits his horn, and he gets a penalty given against him for it. It's got to be the worst penalty decision I've ever seen in my life, and that's no exaggeration. And it will always be remembered for me as the shame game, as in shame on John Beaton and Robinson. Is it Robinson his name is?
Yeah, Robinson, that's right. Yeah.
Aye, disgusting, Xander. Absolutely disgusting. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, I remember you saying because they were trying everything they could for Celtic to lose that game, because Rangers had just lost the game the day before against Motherwell at Ibrox, remember? And it was a chance for us to go 4 points clear, and we lost the game due to very poor officiating. Okay, moving on, John. Scottish Cup. Here we go again. Scottish Cup. Livingston in the Scottish Cup this time, the 10th of March. At home, 4-2 win. Comfortable enough win there. Puts us into the semi-final. Let's move on quickly. 16th of March, 3-1 win against St Johnstone at home. 31st of March, a comeback for an international break. A 3-0 away win against Livingston. We just put Livingston to bed every time we played them this season, John.
Used to be a bogey team for Brendan, didn't it? Livingston. But I think since Ange came in and installed a good winning mentality into a lot of the players that obviously still play for Celtic, but Ange's team.
Yeah.
So he installed that winning mentality, obviously. He's telling them don't take any nonsense off a team like Livingston. Come on, boys, go out there and just, I don't know, pump them. They did.
That's it, John, that's it. And at the same time, Rangers were drawn with Dundee at Dens after the waterlogged pitch fiasco, if you remember. So we were 3 points clear going into the Glasgow Derby at Ibrox, John, if you remember. 3 points clear. It was a chance to go 6 points clear, if you remember. It's an easy one to remember because it's only a few weeks ago, 7th of April. Ibrox Park, John. Dyson scored in the first minute. 3 each. I think Ida scored late on to make it 3-2, and they got an equaliser and they celebrated like they just won the league.
Oh, those were the days, the moral victories.
That was unbelievable, John. Celebrating a 3-3 draw at home against Celtic, who had players missing, who had no Celtic supporters in the stadium. It was a better result for Celtic than it was for Rangers because it's kept us 3 points clear, and they celebrated like they'd won the game and won the league.
Aye, well, that's the Moral Victory Cup, innit? They won the League Cup, then the Moral Victory Cup. and they paraded it around Glasgow in the open top bus and all that. Well, I'm exaggerating, of course, but it was equivalent to that, wasn't it? Lap of honour and all that. Standing ovation for their fans. It's amazing.
I remember it. It was that was another sunny day. We had a lot of sunny days this year. Anyway, great result for Celtic, John. 3 each, kept us 3 points clear. Going into the next game at home against St Mirren, which we won 3-0, 13th of April at home, comfortable enough. Puts us into the next weekend Scottish Cup semi-final against Aberdeen at Hampden Park. Another 3 each game there against Aberdeen. It was a brilliant game, if you remember. It was like Forrest made his mark, made his return, if you remember, back into the team. Jamesy Forrest scored against Aberdeen. Went to penalties, injury time and penalties, extra time, sorry. And that's the game where Big Joe misses the penalty, but also pulls off the save that puts us into the final.
Oh, aye, that's fresh in the memory. That what a game that was, 3 each. Unlucky to Aberdeen, they put up a really good fight that day. Yeah. But they got what they deserved then, didn't they? But aye, that one's still fresh in the memories. Under 3 each against Aberdeen at Hampden Park. Really enjoyed the game. Celtic winning on penalties, which is something you wouldn't expect. Celtic are so bad at penalties, but they were dispatching them that day. Yeah? Pretty good penalties as well for both teams.
That's right. That's right. It's Big Joe Hart set him up to take that penalty. I always remember I had my hands. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and he missed it as well. But every time they sailed into the big man to save the spot kick that puts us into the final against Rangers, John. So let's park that. Scottish Cup will come in a minute. Back into the league, John. Ross County. This is where Jamesy really makes his mark in the team. Ross County away, 2-1 win away, 28th of April. Young Forest, well, young next to me, grabs himself a double.
I remember that as well. Jamesy was on fire for that moment, right up to the end of the season. It was like having a new winger, wasn't it? Oh, unbelievable with Jamesy. He's totally, I don't know, put fresh energy into the team. I think his ability to cross, his ability to, hog the touchline and just cut in and bamboozle defenders. It was like a 21-year-old Jamesy, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see him, wasn't it, John, playing like that again. Hopefully we can get that out of him next season as well. We'll wait and see. But anyway, we'll touch on this next game. 4th of May, John, 3-0 to Celtic against Hearts. That was very comfortable as well. So it's good to get one over on them. Wee bit of revenge there.
That's always good, You expect that, though. Still a tough game, though, but you've got to expect it, into Celtic at home. Celtic, we're never going to let them do that again. That's this season. There's no way they were going to let Hearts beat them 3 times in one season. Can't expect Celtic to turn them over, and they did.
Yeah, we're on a roll at this point, John. Obviously, this is the first game in the top 6. The split, I feel like, 3-0 win, very comfortable. Next game was the last league Glasgow derby of the season, 11th of May, 2-1 win for Celtic at home. It was put 6 points clear, John. That's more or less guaranteed the league title for me. This one, Matt O'Reilly scoring the goal, then Lundstrom obviously scoring the own goal and also seeing red later on in the game. There's another one we had to see out though, wasn't it, John? It was another 2-0 ahead and then they pulled one back. We've seen it a few times during the season. Should be burying these teams, especially when they're down to 10 men. But doesn't matter, John. 6 points clear. Full-time whistle, 2-1 to Celtic.
Aye, possibly known as the day we won the league. But even at that point, even being 6 points ahead, I'm still nervous. I'm still thinking, come on, away, very, very tough game. But look, it's another derby win. Don't care what the rest of the game's like. As long as we put the ball in the net more times than them, that's all that matters to me, and that's what we did.
Yeah, didn't they beat us once this season, John? Not once did they beat us. They did. They got the 3-3 win, didn't they? But apart from that,
That doesn't count.
doesn't count, no. Okay, next game, John, was the day we actually won the league. You just mentioned it there. Kilmarnock away, blew them away, John, 5-0. Unbelievable. What a night. What a day. Celebrations deep into the night, into the morning. Just amazing. I was down at Celtic Park myself for the celebrations. Maeda scores. Ida scored early, obviously. Maeda, Forrest, Matt O'Reilly double. Yeah, 5-0. Champions in the bag, John, after all the heartache in November, December, if you remember, all the drop points, we still come out the other end as champions, John.
I was just thinking when you were talking how 5-10 minutes ago I was talking about how it felt like the COVID season.
Yeah.
Getting beat in the winter's nights against Hearts and that at home, and horrible feeling, really deflating. And then you get to the high of winning the league at Rugby Park, with our best performance, arguably our best performance of the season at Rugby Park, thrashing them 5-0. And it just reminded me of the night we won the league at Tannadice, gave me that nice warm feeling under the lights.
Yeah.
It wasn't under the lights when the game kicked off, but it was when it finished. It just reminded me of that Tannadice night. And what a feeling to win the league after a performance like that. 5-0. The best football I've seen Celtic playing in possibly the last couple of years. Winning the league in style, it was just amazing, Xander. Aye, outstanding.
Yeah, it was good. I was also roasting that night. Remember the park was very sticky. They had to water the park. It didn't make a jot of difference, did it? It was a beautiful summer's night, John. To get that result, to get that performance, and to be crowned champions that night, absolutely beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful, John. All right, moving on, because time's getting on. 16th of May, last game of the season, Trophy Day. St Mirren at Celtic Park, Trophy Day. It was a good game, decent game there, John. 3-2 win for Celtic in the end, wasn't it? St Mirren. It was a bit of party atmosphere for both teams, wasn't it? Both sets of players were playing with smiles on their faces. It was good to see St Mirren putting in that wee kind of effort and Celtic still coming out with a win.
Aye, absolutely it was. They've tried to put a wee dampener on the party, of course, St Mirren, and their players were on their knees when Celtic scored the third goal to win the game. They were actually all down on their knees as if they just lost a cup final.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable, but like you say, both sets of players played with smiles on their faces and that. What's the boy's name? O'Hara, laughing boy. He was telling the Celtic fans to be shushing all that while he's laughing and stuff, but Celtic fan, of course. But it was just great. If we get the trophy later that day, just amazing, absolutely amazing. I actually, it's the best feeling of winning a league I've had for years, because we were so poor in the winter time. Went through that really poor spell in the winter when our players were injured and all that. But to come back through that and win the title was just an unbelievable feeling. Probably the best league title I've enjoyed in many a year.
Yeah, well said, John. It was Palmer who got the winner, wasn't it? But Santa also made an appearance that day, didn't he? If you remember, Santa lifting the trophy, that was quite funny. But a sense of humour for the Celtic lads there, wasn't it? Letting Santa bring out the trophy after getting booed, like you said, in December. It was just a wonderful day, absolutely wonderful.
That was it. Job done. Brendan gets another check mark on his title list. So that's Brendan done a great job through the season. I thought he managed everything quite well. Look, we shouldn't have lost that Hearts game. There was blatant cheating going on there. I think if it wasn't for that, Celtic going and win that game comfortably, we're probably talking about a different December, really, because we were on the back of a 7-1 win against Dundee. Team were flying. The officials did everything they could to stop Celtic that day. I'll never forget it. And if Celtic won that game that day, I don't think they would have lost another game for the rest of the season or dropped points. Celtic got to February, didn't look back really, did they? Win, really. Brilliant season. Brilliant end to the season. Celtic notorious for finishing season strong, of course. And that year was no different.
Yeah, it was like a juggernaut, wasn't it, John? It's just a juggernaut towards the finishing line and blowing everybody away, John. It's just blowing them out the roads. Away you go. 3-0, 5-0, doesn't matter. Outstanding. Okay, John, that was it. The league was in the bag with one more game to go. Scottish Cup final, Hampden, 25 degrees in the sunshine, beautiful day. One of the days you'll never forget. Both sets of fans, to be fair, brought an outstanding atmosphere to the final. But what a game it was, John. Rangers made a game of it. They had nothing to lose. They threw everything at us. Won't do you any good. Celtic are too strong. Celtic come away with the winning goal in the 89th minute. Big Adam Ida, John. Just what an inspiration to the rest of the players. What a loan signing it was in January. Gets the winning goal and bags us a double, John. The last game of the season. 1-0 Celtic, John. Double in the bag.
Double in the bag, that's it. The best double since the centenary year, in my opinion. It was right up there with it. But we'll never forget that final. We'll never forget that season, really. The league win and the cup win. I think the cup win just, I don't know, it just seemed to be merry. I don't know if it was a bigger lift than winning the league. Probably no. I'm probably exaggerating that. But I think it was just a euphoric feeling of winning the double, when we were basically told that we were on our knees and Rangers were going to win the treble and all that. But Celtic has shown why they're the best team in the country. End of the season performance, 3 months worth of punishing teams, and just basically putting icing on the cake by winning the cup final. Adam Ida scored a lot of vital goals. Bernardo contributed to it. I mean, there wasn't a lot of chances on goal in that game, was there? Really, there was nothing really throughout the whole game. And for Celtic to go and win it like that in the last minute, it was just beautiful, Xander. Just absolutely astounding season. More celebrations for the Celtic fans, of course, more parties, more fireworks. And the Celtic fans letting the Rangers fans know, if you're going to let fireworks off, let them off at the right time when you've won something. No after you've beat Ross County at home.
Okay. Ross County again. All right, John. And by the way, thanks to Ross County for what they did in the season. The games in hand the Rangers had.
And Dundee.
And Dundee, John. It just goes to show games in hand isn't the points in the bag. So let's move on, John, because time is getting on. And I want to, you mentioned the centenary double there, right, John? You mentioned that. And for me, that was one of the best doubles that I can remember as well. I'll never forget that, just like I'll never forget this season, right, John? So it'll be a bit of fun. Stay in the comments. What we're going to do is I want you to pick a best 11 out of both the teams, right? I've got all the names here. You don't need to worry. I'm just going to mention the names and you pick who you want in your team, right, John? So here we go. Best 11 out of the centenary and the 2024 team, John, right? So goalkeepers was Alan McKnight in goals because Big Packy Bonner was injured, and Joe Hart. Who are you having in your team, John?
Joe Hart.
Right, Hart in goal. Right, that's you. I'm picking Hart as well, right? So there we go. Okay, right back, John. We had Chris Morris, and obviously the current right back is Alistair Johnson.
Alistair Johnson.
Right, Johnson for me as well. Okay, moving on. Right, left back, sorry, Greg Taylor or Anton Rogan?
Anton Rogan.
Right, and I'm taking Greg. Right. Okay, centre half, John. Derek White or Liam Scales?
Oh, that's a tough one. There's
going to be a few tough ones, John, honestly.
I'm going to say Derek White.
Derek White, John. Fair dues. Brilliant big player, wasn't he, Big White? I'm going Scales, right? It's close, by the way. It's close. Okay, Big Mick McCarthy or Carter Vickers?
Carter Vickers for me.
Yeah, Vickers for me or not. That's fair enough, right? Although Big McCarthy was brilliant, wasn't he?
Aye. Mick McCarthy was a brilliant big centre back. Aye. But Carter Vickers, I just think, I don't know, he's just a wee bit more about him, but a bit more forward play his game. He gets forward well and all that. So aye, Carter Vickers for me.
Yep, fair dues, John. Fair dues. Okay, this is good. I'm enjoying this. Okay, this is tough, John. This is tough. Holding midfield, we had Big Roy Aitken in the centenary double. Big Roy Aitken in there, and Callum McGregor, John.
I always seen Roy Aitken as a centre half.
But in the cup final, John, he played in midfield.
Aye, if that's the case, it's Callum McGregor for me all day. More mobile, more flexibility, better vision. Aye, Callum McGregor.
That's got to be Callum, isn't it? I mean, right, we'll go through the team at the end, right? I'm taking Callum as well, right? But
Well,
Big Roy,
if you were to pick between Callum McGregor and Roy Aitken in the centre back position, I'm going to pick Roy Aitken, of course.
aye, that's it. That's it. But Big Roy, you can what a legend. I think if Derek White wasn't playing the centre half that day, Big Roy would have been in there, wouldn't he? Anyway, moving on, John. This is tough. Well, maybe no tough because it's no tough for me. Tommy Burns or Rio Hatate?
Roy Aitken refused to sign an autograph for me one day, by the way. I'll never forget that.
I bet Roy Aitken at the People's Palace, actually, when I was a youngster. They said hello, so fair enough. So you didn't get an autograph, and I got a hello. So that balances itself out, doesn't it?
No, really, no, because I was mortified because he was my favourite player at that time.
So that's why you picked McGregor.
Well, no, because I remember standing outside Celtic Park with the Celtic View magazine.
Yeah.
And I was waiting on the players coming out, and I get obviously Tommy Burns and that all signed the stuff, Roy Aitken, and that was my favourite player. I was only 12 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him signing that, Roy. No, walked right past us.
Yeah, there you go. It's no nice, isn't it? No, anyway.
Aye, big clown, man.
I should have signed it. It's not like Celtic players to do that, is it? Anyway, John, Tommy Burns and Rio Hatate.
Tommy Burns.
Yeah, Burns for me. Right.
Tommy Burns was a legend, Xander. What a player Tommy Burns was.
Yeah.
No, just he's a Celtic legend for a reason, because he was an outstanding talent. One of the best players that Scotland's ever produced. So Tommy Burns for me all day with that one, even though Rio's a class act. Tommy for me.
Yeah, Tommy for me too, John. Joe Miller or James Forrest?
Joe Miller.
Joe Miller. I'm taking Forrest, right? Miller was brilliant, but I'm taking Forrest just because. Well, it's just, I know what you're saying. It's this season until we're picking it on, so I know what you're saying. I'll take Forrest because of the end he had, right? But Joe Miller was an outstanding wee winger for us, obviously. Forrest is outstanding as well. But we'll go through the team at the end, John. Just a couple to go. Frank McAvenny. Who will I put this on? Kyogo or Ida? Frank McAvenny or Kyogo, John?
Frank McAvenny.
Macca. I'm taking Macca, John. I'm taking Macca.
Again, he's another legends under, so aye, Frank McAvenny's I know it was a long time ago Frank played, but Celtic legend for me, Frank McAvenny. Where's the birds and all that stuff? It's got to be Frank all day for me. I just think I thought he was an outstanding forward player, under. Brilliant. Good Celtic man as well.
Yeah, fair dues, John. And the last of all, we'll not go through subs or anything like that, just the first 11, right? It was Andy Walker who played in the final and Dyson Maeda, John. So that's your choice, Andy Walker or Dyson?
Dyson Maeda for me, Xander. Don't like Andy Walker anyway, but Dyson all day.
I think Walker came off injured in the final, if I remember. But anyway, Maeda for me as well, John, right? Maeda.
Andy Limper.
Andy Limper. Here we go. This is John's 11 for the centenary, for the double, right? Centenary double. And this year's double, this is John's pick out of both the teams, right? We've got Joe Hart in goals, Alistair Johnson at right back, Anton Rogan at left back, Derek White and Carter Vickers in centre half, Callum McGregor in the holding role, Tommy Burns and Joe Miller in the midfield, and we've got McAvenny up front with Maeda. Very strong team there, John. Outstanding. My team is Hart and goal also, Johnson also right back. I'm going for Greg Taylor at left back, Scales at centre half with Vickers, Callum McGregor in the holding role, Tommy Burns in the midfield, Forrest on the wing, McAvenny up front, and Maeda on the left. Two very strong teams there, John.
Aye, well, I think mine's a bit stronger, but I'm always going to say that. But aye, two brilliant. The two of the teams were just amazing teams. Two brilliant double winning teams, and let's be honest, these two teams were amazing. One's for our era, I mean, and my era of watching Celtic started in the 1980s, so that's my era. I remember it well. I remember that era more than some of the more modern games, you know, the 1980s era, especially the centenary winning team. I just thought, I'm like yourself, we were both young at the time, but we still remember it being sunny and all of that, and it's just good memories as well. I think it makes it that wee bit more nostalgic, didn't it? So, aye, but two great teams, two great doubles, and two memories that I'll never forget to the day I die, Xander.
Yeah, well said, John. I'm the same. It's the 1980s, the late 80s, that centenary double. It just lives in my memory. It's got a permanent place in my memory. That so, and so has this year's double as well, John. So great players listed there, John. For both eras, to be honest with you, I know it's different eras and it's hard to really judge, but that was a good wee bit of fun there, John. I enjoyed that. That was superb. All right, John, that wraps it up. Okay, that wraps it up. We'll be back on if there's any juicy gossip during the week. If not, it'll be another podcast next weekend. So, John, we'll be back on next week. How did you find that, John? That was a lot to get through there.
Aye, that's good fun, isn't it? I like to be back at the end. But I like that. I like the wee flashbacks and all that, going back in time. A lot of people that listen might know. I don't know how old everybody is that listens to this, but certainly people from our era will remember that. Maybe some younger ones ago, but they're talking about who's Anton Rogan and all that stuff. But these players did Celtic proud in that centenary year. It was a great time to be a Celtic fan. It was the Old Hampden Park when won the Scottish Cup as well, wasn't it? No roof on it.
Yeah.
There was a roof on one part of that stadium, I think.
That's right.
Same with Celtic Park. It was the old Celtic Park. It was, there was a roof on every stand, but it was the same kind of structurally. It was kind of similar to Celtic Park, wasn't it? Hampden.
That's right, John. What did you prefer, Old Hampden or New Hampden?
Old Hampden, to be honest with you. I like the New Hampden. I think it's quite nice. I guess a bad rap for having a bad atmosphere and all that, but I think in good nights, Hampden Park is rocking. I think it's got a great atmosphere in it when it's a good game, But I think the Old Hampden Park, because it was opened and when it was sunny, it just looked amazing for some reason. That could have been anywhere in the world at that time. The old camera work for the TV crews and that could have been Brazil or anything. When you look at it, the old sunny days and the camera pans around the fans, it looked amazing. When they roof and the sun just coming right in across all the fans, everybody had the sun in their face. The old Celtic Park compared to the new Celtic Park, if I'm going to compare the two stadiums, that was my era, the old Celtic Park. I loved it. I think the new Celtic Park looks better though. I think it looks nice and modern. I think it's a great looking stadium, Celtic Park. And you look at the old Celtic Park, it just doesn't look half as good, does it?
No, it's funny. I was looking at that today, the old Celtic Park. Fun enough, I think it was on Facebook. Somebody put a picture of it. No, Celtic Park's an outstanding stadium nowadays, and the atmosphere that it generates as well is brilliant. As regards to Hampden, I prefer the roof off as well, if you like. I preferred that open stadium. I know it probably wasn't nice going back to the 80s and going to the games and getting soaked, etc. But when it was the cup finals, John, in that sunshine, it just looked tremendous, didn't it?
Hampden in the sun, as the song goes into it. I look, Hampden Park. I don't think I was ever in Hampden Park when it didn't have a roof on it. I mean, I've been in the new stadium, but I've never been in the old Hampden Park. I was in the old Celtic Park every week, but never the old Hampden. I used to see it in the distance, Hampden Park. I remember as a kid living in Denniston. And you used to, at some points in Denniston, you could look across the south side of Glasgow for Denniston, and you see Hampden Park in the distance, the floodlights, the old pylons.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Aye, you could see the old pylons, Hampden Park, and it was always like a world I would never see for some reason. I was always aware of Celtic Park and all that, of course, because that was close to Denison. You could see the pylons right beside it. But I remember the first time I seen the Celtic Park floodlights. Never knew what it was. I knew obviously I knew about Celtic, but I was never a Celtic fan because I never knew anything about football because I was too young.
Yeah.
But the older I got, I think I got to about 11, 12, and I used to always look at these things in the distance, these big pylons, and wondered what they were. And one of my pals says that's Celtic Park. And I remember my first game with my cousin going a walk to these pylons. Says, I'm going to Celtic games. Do you want to come? And I always seen these pylons. I'd never been. And the closer I got, I was getting more excited and more excited. These pylons were getting closer. I'd never been up at them before.
Yeah.
And then I got into the stadium and I was just, honestly, for that moment, 11 years old, that was my first moment, stepping and going into the old Celtic Park, going up the stairs, and then you come into the terracing and you look across the stadium, and that was it. Sander, addicted, totally addicted for that moment on.
Yeah, that's a brilliant story, John. It's good memories there. It's similar to mine because it's my pal's old man taking me to my first game, and my first game was it's funny enough, it was the centenary game at the end of the season, sorry, against Dundee. Celtic Park was packed out. I think I was only 10 at the time, 9 even, I can't remember. But he took us to that game. There must have been, there was fans on the track, John, not in the stands. They were standing on the track. It was that busy. It must have been about, I don't know, 70, 80,000 there or something that day. Celtic won the game 3-0, I think, against Dundee. I could hardly see anything if I remember right. But I was there, John, the day we won the league against Dundee in the centenary season at the old Celtic Park, the same as you, John. Yeah, very similar memories there, buddy.
Aye, that's good memories as well, Xander. Do you remember all the wee blue disability cars around the back of the goals?
Aye, that's right, that's right. Aye, actual cars sitting behind the goals, wasn't it?
Aye, it was always the wee, they were like a sort of eggshell blue.
Right.
Kind of that wee duck blue eggs or whatever they are, that blue colour.
Yeah.
And they were all lined up round the arched trackway. Because Celtic Park used to have like a track around it, didn't it? It wasn't
Right.
like a running track.
Right, John.
There wasn't a full running track, but behind the goals was like that running track shaped like Hampden.
Yeah.
They were both similar in design, of course. I remember all the wee blue disability cars around the back of the goals and all that stuff. But it was good memories for when you were that age. You know, you're just a kid, of course. But the memories are still strong for the days. I can still picture that walking into Celtic Park for the first time and you know, seeing all that stuff. The old seats were orange in the main stand. Main stand hasn't changed that much, but the
No,
seats used to be orange.
that's right. I remember that as well. Yeah. As you said, the old stand hasn't changed much. It's been upgraded slightly or whatever. But no, I remember the wee cars as well, John. That's a memory that I'd forgotten about. The wee disabled cars, as you say, at the back at each goal, at each end, if you remember. That's right. Yeah, I remember that well. All right, John. Let's wrap it up there. That was brilliant. Thanks for the memories, John. That was superb. We'll be back next weekend, folks, for any news, signings, updates, whatever. And obviously the Euro starts next week as well, so we'll be touching on that as well. Plenty to talk about, plenty to go through during this close season. But our main priority is Celtic. Any news that comes our way, any updates, we'll let you know as soon as possible. All right, John, thanks for that today, buddy. I appreciate that. That was superb. Enjoyed that.
Aye, no bother, and I'll just obviously my dad was a big Celtic fan as well. As a big Celtic fan, so hello to my dad who listens to this. And my mother, of course, both listen to this, both big Celtic fans. So just a big hello to them, and thanks for supporting Celtic, because I don't think I could stand it if I was a Blue Nose. I'd never forgive you for that.
Fair enough, John. Fair enough. Yeah, and hello to your parents, by the way. Hello to them, because obviously I know your parents, John. All right, John. Thanks for that. We'll catch you next week, buddy. Right.
See you next week, Xander. Hail, mate.
Hail, hail, buddy, and hail, hail to the champions. Bye for now.
Boys are on the march again.